this video that I at least showcased why I think these games are special. And I guess this is an open letter too. Telltale, please find a way to put these games back up on Steam. Rescue them from licensing hell. I know you guys can just pirate this shit, but god damn it, I just want more people to play them the way they were meant to be played. These games are wonderful. I only have them because I bought them when they came out. And that sucks. I know a lot of people weren't able to do that, and now it's too late. Come on, Telltale, put these games back up. They deserve to be played. Wait, they actually did it? Okay, yeah, so I never thought I would actually get to make this video for real. Poker Night's back! First game, it's just up. You can just buy it again. It's $9.99. What?
That flop makes me want to kill myself.
Is this because there was an actual demand for Poker Night to be re-released? Did online discussion actually bring it back into public consciousness enough to make a re-release more viable? Or did SKUNKAPE just run out of shit with Max in it to re-release? I don't know the answer. However, I'm glad they did. It's back, baby! Poker Night's back, and I couldn't be happier.
A pot like that could buy a man a little giraffe time.
Now, as the biggest Poker Night guy on YouTube, as the second biggest Poker Night guy on YouTube, I thought it was my duty to pick the game up and talk about it on this channel because why wouldn't I? I love Poker Night. I cannot believe that they brought this back. I never thought it would come back. And I can't believe I'm saying this. This is 100% real. SKUNKAPE were gracious enough to send me an early copy of the game for this video. I cannot stress enough how much that means to me. So I have gotten a lot of experience playing the re-release of Poker Night at the inventory. But with that being said, if I got to play the game early, how come I haven't gotten this video out faster? Well, dear viewer, there is a perfectly reasonable explanation for this. You see, since this is a follow-up to what I would consider my most successful video since coming back to YouTube, and the creators of the game were gracious enough to send me a free copy of it for a review, I thought it was my duty to give myself a ton of unneeded stress and over-scrutinize every single aspect of the video making process. I thought it was only fair to do this to the point where I was too scared to both open the game and open the editing timeline. I mean, come on, why shouldn't I do this? It's not like this is my most anticipated video, and I feel like I would be letting a lot of people down if it wasn't up to a certain amount of quality. I mean, come on, it's not like I don't have a bunch of people waiting to hear my thoughts about this poker game that I've been saying I really want re-released. I mean, come on, why shouldn't I do that? Anyways, let's go gamble.
Word up.
Also, all joking aside, I want to make this very clear. SKUNKAPE is not paying me for this review. They just gave me a code. That's it. So the re-release for Poker Night at the Inventory was first announced on February 4th, 2026. It would then release a month later on March 5th, 2026. I will tell you right now, when I saw the news, mostly being broken by Wario64, the most trusted news source when it comes to gaming, I had this reaction. Never in a million years would I have thought that Poker Night at the Inventory would ever come back in any capacity, let alone the first game. Now, it should be noted that this re-release was not developed by Telltale in any way. It was developed by SKUNKAPE Games, the same developers behind all of the Sam & Max re-releases that are on Steam and console. SKUNKAPE themselves being founded by former Telltale devs. They were able to get the rights to Sam & Max back from Telltale and have been able to release them ever since. And I guess they just felt like doing this for the fun of it. Not gonna lie, I always thought Steve Purcell owned SKUNKAPE, but I guess he doesn't. I don't know. I should have looked into that more. I mean, that's oomph, man. Like, come on, I should know better than that. I watched the trailer, got super excited, and couldn't wait for the game. Then I actually got to play the game and just immediately noticed how different this was. For one thing, the game looks fantastic. Way better than the original release for Poker Night. I'm pretty sure it's using the same engine as those Sam & Max re-releases, which is great. Those games look and run fantastic, and it is providing a major upgrade for this re-release. I think what stuck out to me the most most was the re-release doesn't have that weird greenish tint the original Poker Night had. I know a lot of you noticed it. Everything just looked strange and really dark, and that's nowhere to be seen in this re-release, especially on the Heavy. I think the Heavy looks great here. I think they were able to get the Heavy's model to actually work properly with the lighting engine that this one uses rather than the original Telltale engine. He still animates kind of weird, and some of his lip movements don't really match, but I have to imagine that's just a quirk with the model rather than a problem on SKUNKAPE's end.
Chick, chick, on my sandwich. Cha-cha-cha.
Now, the character that got the biggest glow up is easily Tycho. I mean, come on, he doesn't look like shit anymore. I'm sorry, he did. He just looked terrible in the original Poker Night. Much thicker lines, much more readable lips and facial expressions. He looks fantastic. I think they were able to really capture how Tycho looked at that moment in time in the Penny Arcade comic strips. Still a fucking weirdo, though. They couldn't update that.
Your hair looks like a greasy hedgehog, unassociated with any video game license, that went to the barber and said, "Just a little off the suck, please."
People always assume hedgehogs are greasy. Members of the order Aranaceo are proud and extremely fastidious mammals.
You said it, not me.
If one can overcome his trepidation at the sight of her spines, a hedgehog can make a wonderful pet. Or companion. Their spines are not spines at all, but soft hairs made firm with keratin. At first, she may bristle at your touch. But as she warms to you, she may place a tiny paw on the glass, whispering, touch me like no man ever could." I'm sorry, you were saying?
Oh, nothing. Just puking in my pants.
You know, the funniest part is that Penny Arcade actually made a strip talking about all the weird shit Tycho talks about when it comes to animal fucking in this game. Now, one thing that actually caught my attention on Poker Night's store page was the final line at the bottom of the store page. Actually follows the rules of poker. The team stripped Poker Night's original poker code down to parts, scraped the gunk away, and rebuilt it better than new. Poker Night at the inventory now plays a far more accurate game of poker, and your opponents will make more informed decisions that better fit their playstyle and personality. They improved the AI, which is something that I think should be of note. I know in the last video I made a little joke about being bad at poker, but the original Poker Night is very easy. The AI can be easily exploited because they're more focused on how the game thinks the characters would actually play rather than actually play poker. And you know what? Credit to them. This game feels a lot more comparable to, I would say, Poker Night 2, because the AI in Poker Night 2 is much better than 1's. There is just one small problem, though. They can tell me that the AI is better, and you know what? I just have to believe them. Because that thing I said a little bit ago, I lied. Yeah, newsflash, I'm still fucking bad at poker!
The Heavy has a full house. The player has a pair of kings. The Heavy wins the hand.
I am always winner.
The Heavy wins the tournament.
I win, and now I can buy all the bullets.
Look, man, don't get me wrong. I have gotten better. I do know a straight from a flush now. I know what the hell I'm doing, but the AI in this game is so much better than Poker Night 1's. It's insane. It's forced me to be better. I kind of thank it for that, but also, fuck these guys, man.
All right. Strongbad has a flush. The player has 2 pair. Strongbad wins the hand.
Oh, man. What happened?
You want me to say you won again?
I guess so. I mean, if that's what happened, for real and for true, right?
Die a sad, pitiful, painful death.
What was I talking about? Oh, right, the engine. Now, one thing I definitely want to bring up is how much smoother this game runs than the original Poker Night. There's a lot less stuttering this time around, and the character models relatively act normal. There are times where Strong Bad's head will kind of whip around, but I don't have an issue with it because it can lead to some great moments like this.
Beat me once, shame on me. Beat me twice, also shame on me. Beat me 3 times, I am sent to my death.
He looks around is so funny. Like, did you guys hear that? Was he serious? But the game more or less runs a lot smoother than that original Telltale engine, especially with the dialogue. Dialogue in the original Poker Night had a tendency to kind of lose itself a little bit and get interrupted whenever certain actions were taken, like all-ins, showdowns, things of that nature. This release does a much better job at keeping the characters on track, which is good because to me, this is what I play Poker Night for, is to listen to these characters talk, and I don't want them to just completely forget what they're doing. If I wanted to listen to a rambling idiot forget about what they're saying halfway through, I would just listen to one of my videos. And you know what? As frustrating as the game can be, I do find it very relaxing. The general atmosphere of the inventory is just so cozy, the music is so gentle. You'll definitely hear some repeated songs throughout your time playing, especially if you're playing in like really long sessions. I know you TF2 players are just fiending for those unlocks, and we'll get to those in a sec, don't worry. But I never felt annoyed by the music or just the constant chatter happening around me. Just like the original, it just has a fantastic atmosphere. It makes you want to keep playing because it really is fun just listening to these guys talk. And by the way, for the record, I play with the full chat settings on. I don't care how often I hear like repeated lines over and over and over again because you can skip it by just pressing right click. But if you're playing this game on silent, you must really like poker or something because I just think you're an alien. This is like the whole fun of Poker Night for me, is just listening to Strong Bad just saying just the most inane braggadocious shit he can.
Say, Boneyman, how badly did those Telltales hose you in your licensing agreement?
Sam and I just focus on fighting crime. People have been making money from our exploits for decades.
No, I mean those incompetent dorks who captured maybe an ounce of our actual charm and charmisma in their terrible video games. Point on this, click on that. How about use my fist with your face, Telltales?
Maybe you had me confused for someone else? Yeah, I just figure bad guys and fight crimes in New York City. That's my thing.
We're being exploited.
Oh, exploitation! Santa Claus subjugated an entire race of elves in Sam & Max Season 2 and 3.
Alright, look, I gotta talk about the AI again one more time because there is one really funny thing that's come about because of Poker Night's re-release. So Tycho. People fucking hate this guy. I don't think anyone's gonna argue with me in saying that Tycho is easily like the hardest person to actually beat in this game. He plays intelligently, he knows when to fold, he bets just enough to get under your skin. He, at least from what I've seen, has the least amount of visual tells outside of him just like face palming himself. He's really hard to deal with. And if he doesn't get knocked out early, if he's the last guy you have to face off against in the tournament, you better be ready for a long-ass game, man, because he's going to take you for a ride. And people hate it. They hate him. There's a lot of people who don't really know what Penny Arcade is, that it's even a webcomic. They just think PAX, like, sprouted from existence all by itself, and not that the fact that it's fucking run by the Penny Arcade webcomic guys. So when they see this really annoying gamer dude just saying, oh my god, the most dated slang, just the most annoying, like, 2010s era, like, form poster bullshit, they want to beat him with hammers. I have seen so many posts, so many memes of people just like hating this guy. It's really funny. I'm saying this as someone that actually does like Penny Arcade. I have nothing against the webcomic or the creators. I think this shit's hilarious.
Ladies, gents, it's been a pleasure. Also, go your respective selves.
Now, getting to the unlocks in the game, it still has a lot of the same decks and tables that you unlocked in the original release. One of them I didn't even know was in the original release, the table that turns everything black and white. I think I just missed that. I mostly played with like the licensed stuff, but that was really cool to see. But my favorite thing is that some of the tables just change certain characters cosmetically. I haven't unlocked all of them because, again, we don't need to talk about that. But they're so cool. This was one of my favorite aspects of Poker Night 2, where the extra tables actually changed the relating character. So when I see that I've unlocked a Videlectrix board and it changes Strong Bad into this weird polygonal homunculus, I can't help but smile, man. That's really cool. And it does it for the other characters too, at least for some of the ones I've unlocked. I already have 2 TF2 tables, one for red team and one for blue team, and they both switch up how the heavy looks. Now, Heavy's already red in the game, so for the red table, they just give him the dealer's visor. But for blue, they change his outfit to represent the blue team, which is really fun. I like that they did that. I know Tycho has one, and it changes his outfit to look like how he did in that one Penny Arcade game, which I just found out is on Steam. I didn't even know that released on PC, so that's crazy. Also gives me an idea, but that's a video for another time. There are also a ton of new decks as well. I haven't gotten to all of them, but what I have seen are really cool. There's still the standard decks from TF2, Sam & Max, Homestar Runner, Penny Arcade, but there are also a few neat little designs. One design I saw was reposted by SKUNKAPE on the day of release, which was a deck drawn by the creator of Puzzle Agent, another Telltale point-and-click. I haven't played Puzzle Agent, but that's really cool that they included that in there, and it makes me wonder what other decks there are. It's a really nice touch having other references to Telltale games in this, outside of the 4 main properties that are already in the game. Yes, the bounties are back. I know a lot of people were really curious about the TF2 unlocks this time around. Yes, the bounties are still in Poker Night. They aren't as easy to get this time around because they appear at less frequent intervals. And there's not really an easy way to reset every game without losing, at least from what I saw, which is fine with me. I think that's actually really funny that you can't just cheese getting them unless you just constantly go all in. But even then, you still have to go through that whole intro cutscene of going down the elevator and waiting for everyone to put up their money. That's a good way to stick it to the TF2 players. Now, I know there were a lot of questions relating to people who already had the original Poker Night, and I am happy to report that if you get the bounties in the re-release of Poker Night at the inventory, you get new versions of the bounties in TF2 itself. They have the distinction of being reissues. It says it right there on the item description. That means if you already own these items, you can just get them again. You just have 2 different versions. And I think you know what that means for me. I've waited for this moment for almost 10 years. Do you know how much I've missed you, my precious Lugermorph? After all these years, I am vindicated. We are so fucking back, baby. I win! I win! I can finally put this behind me!
Oh shit, wait, I suck at this game.
Look, I know I'm making a really big deal out of this re-release, and in a vacuum it might sound silly because at the end of the day, just like I said in that original video, this is just poker. That is all it is. It is just a virtual poker game, and when you really get to brass tacks, there's not that much distinguishing it gameplay-wise from a lot of the other virtual games, but man, it's just nice to see again. I've said it before, but the whole appeal of this game was not the unlocks, wasn't poker, it was just these 4 characters talking to each other.
All right, big pretend killer man. Tell me the most awesome story you have with plenty of super cool, senseless violence.
When I was boy, I was at camp being trained in many ways of combat.
Assassination camp for kids. Oh, this is gonna be good.
There was Sparrow sitting on fence. Snow falls quietly around me. Without notice, another boy jumps from behind tree and kills Sparrow with throwing knife. The boy runs away.
And then?
I pick up Sparrow and hear his last breath before digging him tiny grave.
That's not even a little bit funny, man.
No, it's not.
I'm betting.
This is what I love about Poker Night at the Inventory, and I'm glad a whole new generation of people can just sit down and enjoy it for a damn good price too. Genuinely, I was expecting at least $15 for it. $9.99 is not bad. And genuinely, if SKUNKAPE didn't give me a review code for this, I would have bought it anyways. And it's out on everything now. Steam, Switch, PS4. That's crazy. Heavy Weapons Guy on the Nintendo Switch? I've dreamed of days like this, dude. And because I've been playing this game so much, I'm just seeing stuff that I've never seen before with it. Okay, so we all know the famous engineer story from the Heavy. How he kills the engineer for killing his entire team. Everyone looks on in horror. Classic moment from Poker Night, easily the highlight of the game. I don't know if this was in the original release, but if Max is knocked out when Heavy tells the story, the cutscene just straight up changes. Instead of showing Max, it just cuts to flit paper in the background looking scared as hell.
That is some up, man.
I cannot believe that after all my years of playing this game, replaying it for a video, and playing this now, that I've never seen this before. Is this new? I don't know, but it's amazing. And that's the magic of Poker Night at the Inventory. It's small moments like this that didn't need to be there that are there for you to see, to make you laugh. There's still probably lines and different variations of stuff that I've just never heard. It's amazing. I'm so glad that this got re-released. Genuinely. It makes me happy. And it gives me hope that maybe down the line, we can get a few more of those delisted Telltale games back up. I'm still not sure if Poker Night 2 is going to come back, but maybe we'll get Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. I would like that, but I'm not going to get greedy. And I'm not going to ask for more than what I have. Right now, I'm just thrilled that a game I love so much and has really done a lot for me creatively is just back and more people get to experience it. So thank you again, SKUNKAPE. This re-release is fantastic. I highly recommend it. I know a lot of you TF2 players are really going to get this just for the items, but I implore you to just play the game for fun. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't like poker, it's nice to just sit around and hear these 4 fictional characters talk with each other. I really love this game. I'm glad it's back. With that, I don't really have much else to say. So I will see you guys next time. Catch me playing Fortnite.
You know this game was rigged, right? By your mom. She paid me to do it. She pays all your friends, too. And the woman you called Grandma.